back from vacation and my shirt's backwards, but
yeah, some of you are. Some of us had to work.
Well, I had a vacation. It was the first. Well, I went and visited my family, so it's not like a true vacation, because it's still.
That's fair.
But
Yeah, when did you get back?
I got back Saturday.
Okay.
So it's from like Saturday to Saturday. Got to see my parental people. It was actually, this was really, really cool. So it was myself, obviously Meg and Ash. We flew out. It was Ash's first time flying. And then we got there. And then the next day, my sister flew out. My sister Christina flew out. And then my brother drove in from Colorado with his family and my sister with her family. But then my other sister wasn't coming, but we didn't know this, but she secretly booked a flight and flew down.
Oh, that's cool.
She surprised us and showed up. So that was really cool. My mom was crying and stuff, like that was.
So the whole gang was there?
Yeah. So all of us were there. It was really cool. So that was like the first time we've seen that. And I don't know, first time we've been all together in a little while. So that was cool. But you know how it is, like when you're with your whole family, it's not 100% relaxing. I mean, it was good. There was, I didn't have to think about things for the most part.
Yeah.
And poor Josh, like everything was going ape shit while I was gone. So
I was pretty busy. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Especially when there's only two of us and one of us is gone. I mean.
But there's no way you completely logged off, Dan, did you?
No, of course not. No, I was still taking phone calls and emails, and there was some other there's some stuff that happened that I felt like required my attention that was very frustrating to deal with. Like, when you're trying to relax and then you see some shit happen on the internet, you're like, oh no, now I have to deal with this.
Yep.
So anyway, someone was asking about there it is. What happened to the 458 that was supposed to arrive?
We're saving it for one of our best viewers.
Ooh.
No,
it's not me.
I forgot about that.
Just arrived. We still haven't gotten pictures or videos of it yet.
I wanted to, but it's been pouring rain here for the last 2 days, so I haven't had a chance to do it.
Yeah. We
worked on the 456 the other day, and that took all day. So
is that working? Is it good?
No.
Yeah. So
here, let me just show you a picture. Let me just show you a picture.
Show us a picture.
Well,
Cheryl, I'm curious. Why is Cheryl asking this? I'm curious.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I think our last time we had a live.
Mm-mm.
Oh no!
Oh no! What are you like from like? That's like
down your driveway, right?
It was an interesting day. We had to call AAA to come out to get it, and it was in my garage nose first.
Oh no!
And my driveway is extremely steep and kind of long.
It's not extremely steep. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You stand at the top, you're like, oh Jesus, am I gonna slide down this? Like walking?
AAA dude, and I put in the notes like my driveway's steep and it's nose in the garage.
Yeah.
Like whatever. So they send a flatbed out, and the guy is like, "There's no way I can't do this." And so he put in a call to his supervisor or whatever, and they were going to send out one of those repo trucks, that has the things that go under it or whatever. And Dan and I were like, I think we have a better idea. So we cleared out my whole garage, all the cars that were in my garage, and we turned it around inside my garage, just pushing it back and forth. Nice. So we got the nose facing up, and then we got a tow strap, and we hooked it to Dan's truck, and we towed it up my driveway.
Yes.
Got it on the street, and then the flatbed came and got it.
Nice.
All this will be in a video on,
that's awesome.
I think Sunday.
So
the short is that the head gasket's blown, just like I thought.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was
like
the coolant.
Very badly blown. So bad that coolant is coming out of the side of the engine.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I actually, you know what my suspicion is? I think that as you'll see in the video, I don't think they torqued things properly on that engine, and I bet you, it actually. I don't even know if it blew the head gasket. I think it's spaced.
Oh,
I think
shit.
it pushed off.
I pulled a plug out just so I could see inside of there, and the plug was hand tight.
Oh my god.
Dude,
Yeah.
every single bolt, every single nut on the intake, there's like 30 of them or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, there's a bunch.
Every single one of them was so loose you barely had to give
Wow.
it anything.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
not tight.
Like it was almost more of just because it's a lock nut than anything that it had any resistance at
So
all.
whoever just did the last service was just.
Well, I found
Hey,
some
It
receipts in the
just got
trunk
rebuilt.
that
Yeah.
the engine was rebuilt.
We made it back from Kansas, so
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
I don't
That's a
know how.
miracle.
I was gonna say I don't know how the hell that thing ran.
Well, it
for-
explains why when you started it run rough because there's
Yeah.
coolant in there.
Yep.
And when it
Oil?
heats up, it gets to where
probably
it
expands it out a little bit.
expands out and doesn't leak.
So
the
coolant
engine.
in the oil mixed.
No, not coolant
no.
in the oil, just coolant inside the engine block.
Okay.
Like you've
And outside of the engine block.
Took the intake off. You could shine the light down in there past the valves. You could see coolant down in there.
wow.
Okay.
So do you think, because when Dan and I were driving it back, you would randomly get raindrops in the windshield, but it was a clear sunny day. Do you think that is
that
coolant
was
now?
coolant.
It was coolant.
Oh
Really?
my god.
That's what that happened on the drive home.
Yeah. It was just super random. It would be like, what the fuck? Like there's raindrops in the window. And
Huh.
Totally. In hindsight, so it's funny because one of those that like the evidence should have made us react differently, but you're like
Yeah.
yeah.
It didn't look-
expensive lesson
Coming
learned.
out of the hood.
Well, like there was just
Couldn't tell.
like little things like when Hoovy first started it stuttered and it had some difficulty.
Yep.
But it's like, well, I mean, it's an old Ferrari. Sometimes they stutter a bit when they're old.
Yeah, it hadn't been driven. Like
It hadn't
yeah.
been driven, so I don't know. Okay, and then on the way home, we're like, there's like drops on the windshield, but it definitely isn't raining. I don't know. Like, what's going on with that? In hindsight, you're like, oh yeah, that was coolant.
Yep. Oh shoot.
But I mean, had you known, would you have?
I would
steered
just
clear
not
of it?
bought the car.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Okay.
going to cost us at least $10,000 to $15,000 to fix.
Yeah.
And it's going to be out of commission for probably a month.
It's a hoopty, that's for sure.
I mean, By the way, do any of you know what's going on with Hoovy? I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, he's a YouTuber.
I mean, we know some stuff, but we probably don't want to say.
I mean,
anything.
yeah, we probably are privy to what you're asking, and I'm 100% certain we're not supposed to talk about that. So,
yeah,
if we do know, and it is what I think you're asking about, we're not going to talk about it because that's polite.
Mm-hmm. He has the curve of his channel, and he's gonna follow that arc. So,
yeah, he can do what he wants.
Yep,
that's not my place. That's your chat isn't moving. My chat's working.
Yeah, it's working here.
You might have to refresh.
The dog's being impatient. She's 12, so she gets a bone on live. All right. There you go.
Oh, that's right. I heard that you give her a bone every night or whatever.
Yeah. But she also has dental surgery tomorrow, so that's probably the last bone she's going to have for a while. So.
Oh, poor thing.
She getting the teeth pulled out?
Yep.
Oh, no.
We had to do that with our old Yorkie. He has like 3 teeth left.
Oh,
dude. Yeah.
Just rotten teeth?
Yeah.
I mean, when the dogs get really old, their teeth they have to come out or they get infected.
They get all shattered and
she's
stuff.
12. She's had a good run with 0 vet bills. Well, 0 major vet bills. So
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're lucky.
After we figured out her allergy problem, it's been smooth sailing. So
yeah,
is what
it's
it
crazy. You're supposed to brush dogs' teeth.
Yeah.
So I heard.
Until they try and eat your
How many
hand when you
owners
do
are
it.
brushing their dogs' teeth every night?
I will brush every day. No, I will brush Mo's teeth whenever I give him a bath.
Okay.
That's fair.
Because it's like, all right, I'm already in there, like gonna deal with a squirmy dog.
Giving Mo a bath is a project.
Mo?
Yeah.
No, he's actually pretty good.
Well, I can pick my dog up and wash her in the sink.
Yeah.
Anything compared to your dog is a project.
I just shove him
takes
into
5 minutes.
That's true. I just push him into my shower and then shut the door, and he's like, "Crap." I usually have to like bribe him with food, and then he's like, he knows, like he's like, "Oh man, I know I want that food, but as soon as I'm in there."
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he resists it at first, and then as soon as he's in there, he's like, "Yeah, whatever, okay."
Yeah, this is okay. I love it.
The old man just came for a visit.
Oh,
Oh,
there you
You
go.
heard us talking.
3 teeth left in this guy.
What's
Aw.
his name?
Bear.
Ah. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy.
So
So-
456 is piss and coolant.
Yeah.
458 is getting
Good,
pictures.
actually.
It's actually
Yeah.
a really nice car.
It's a
Can't wait
very,
to see
very
that.
nice car. It's Rosso Scuderia. I love that color.
It's like, yeah, Lambo's still up for sale.
Lambo's still up for sale. Finally getting some interested parties, believe it or not.
The
Nice.
355 is gone. It got picked up.
355 is gone.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
Still waiting on some parts for the Mustang, and then that will go away. But
Oh, you're not gonna drag race it?
I want to drag race it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, here's the problem. They shut down. There's like no drag strips anymore.
Yeah, true.
Really?
Dude, they just tore down the Houston Raceway Park.
What about the one in Seguin? Is that one still there?
That one was shut down. They're supposed to be reopening it, but who knows if that's going to happen.
Ugh.
It's just like, what the
You need to
hell?
have
We could
another.
probably make it. You could probably make a killing if you did a quarter mile in Austin somewhere.
I don't.
You'd
Yeah,
make an absolute killing.
Yep.
I've always thought about that. I'm like, why do racetracks always have such difficulty staying open? I don't understand that. Like, is it just because of insurance costs? Like, I gotta assume
Probably.
it's insurance.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like once you buy the land and pave a track, like especially a drag strip, like there's not that much. I mean, I don't know. I'm probably oversimplifying it. I'm sure I am.
Yeah, you need what, 3 acres for quarter mile drag?
Well, you need
Well,
a
it's
quarter
the
mile
sound,
plus-
probably, right?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Sound's a big
The
problem.
sound of drag strips.
you have to be
is
out in the
insane.
middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Drag strips are just stupid loud.
Yeah. Plus parking. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So 10-acre lot in the middle of nowhere, with ultimately 100 acres around you, so that no one can complain.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yes, Karen neighbors, dude. Karen neighbors are ruining. What is it? Laguna Seca.
Yep.
Yeah, you say that a lot. How do you like? Are you seeing? I mean, I don't keep up with Laguna Seca, but what do you see articles on that?
Yeah, there's some articles out there, and they talk about like how they have like really strong noise restrictions, and they're only allowed to have like a certain number of days per year where they exceed them in their like very specific events or whatever. I mean, look at Harris Hill here in Austin, in the Austin area that got built. When it was built, it was all farmland. There was nothing anywhere near it, and now it's surrounded by subdivisions.
Yeah,
And those people are already, I'm certain, complaining about it. And it's just like, like
You bought a house next to a racetrack. What do you
exactly.
fucking
It's
expect?
like Cletus McFarland's going through that with his track right now,
Yep.
where they're trying to build this big thing. And I totally like empathize with that completely because I'm like, it's the death of a racetrack. Like urban sprawl kills racetracks because no one wants to be near it, but then they all buy the house that's near. It's like you move in near an airport and you're like, damn, these planes flying overhead. You know, it's
Yeah.
like,
yeah,
like, did you do any research before you sign?
yeah. Long live the corkscrew. That needs to remain alive for many years to come.
Yep.
Sorry, dealing with some important texts right now, stuff going on.
Uh-oh.
Life's been busy. It's been a busy few days getting back from vacation and getting back into the groove.
That's always how it works, especially when you're a small
I know.
business owner.
Oh, dude. Oh, okay. You want to hear something that scared the bejesus out of me?
Yes.
So, it was yesterday. So yesterday I go get the mail and like what? So it's Wednesday, right? And one of the things I have is a jury summons.
Oh no.
And it's a grand jury summons. So I'm like, oh crap. Like that's the big one that is only for like legit, like long ass trials or whatever, right? And I like look at it and I read it and it says you are required to show up to court tomorrow.
What?
Meaning today,
What?
April 6th. I'm like, what? Like there's no way in hell I can't just drop everything in my life and show up at court tomorrow.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So I go online, I fill out the stupid stuff, the questionnaires and whatever, and it says like we can't process your stuff online, you have to come in person. And I'm like, no way. No. So I called Josh. I'm like, I might be missing for a while because like this is bullshit. So I call the court and I'm like, hey, I got this jury summons, blah, blah, blah. And like, oh yeah, they're like, something screwed up and the system didn't mail it for over a month. And so they're like, some of them did go out and some of them didn't. So anyone who didn't get it, they're not going to require them to show up. They're going to
Oh my
just
God.
basically they're just like, you're fine. Don't
Wow.
show up. You're all set. So in fact, I got a text today that said that my thank you for your service to your
Oh,
country
nice.
or whatever. Your service has been completed. I'm like, phew,
Yeah.
man, because like
Dodged a bullet there.
I was like, I mean, I don't, whatever. I'll do jury duty if I have to, but like, give me more than a day's notice.
Yeah.
You know?
I did a DUI case. It was fascinating, but I had more than a day's freaking notice.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like, give me a month so I can like get shit in order, especially
uh,
since we're a small business. Like, if that's the part that I was like, I almost put this in the like reasons I can't do it. Is like, if I don't work, I don't get paid. Right? It's not like I have vacation time. It's not like I'm salaried. It's not like I work for a company. It's literally like Josh and I are the company.
Yep.
So I don't think they would take that as an excuse, but I could be like, hey, like I'm the sole income provider for my family, and if I don't get paid, I'm not going to make rent. Like I'm going to get.
I got a grand jury summons like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I got out of it because I was taking care of my dad at the time, and they were like, "Oh, you have to take care of a family member. You're good. You don't have to come."
Nice.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But it ended up being like a 3-week thing.
Ooh.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
just.
No
Oh.
thanks.
There's no way right now that I could go without like for 3 weeks without working.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Gary said he had a 3-month. Holy cow.
There's no way you could do
3
that.
months.
Do they not treat small business owners differently?
I don't know, and that's what I
They
probably
should.
would have. I probably would say, look, like I am a small business owner with one
Yeah.
partner,
No salary.
not salaried, and literally we only make money when we work.
Right.
So
Jocko.
I can't,
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. If you claim
Yeah.
bias, that's usually a good way to get out of it.
I mean, yeah,
Not that I've done that.
but I don't want to lie.
Yeah.
Like I'll be honest, like I actually would like to do it because like I want to like
Oh, the 1 day like quick case I did was super interesting to do. It was a giant waste of time, but it was super cool to see the process. So I don't know. It was fun, but it was a 1 day trial, not a 3-week, 3-month. Like,
Yeah.
no thanks.
yeah. So that's man. Bleh. Yeah, that was like really like come on, man.
Yep.
So what else is going on? Let's see. Yeah, there's stuff I don't want to talk about yet. I can't really talk about yet. We'll talk about later. What
Like
else is-
like an hour later or next week later.
next week.
Okay.
Next week. The reason I'm getting texts right now, I can't talk about until that gets resolved, right? So I, whatever.
Fair.
Yeah. I guess I do want to discuss something someone mentioned before the whole thing got started. Although I feel like mentioning it it's just opening a total nightmare. But we'll open up that can of crap. So
I might hang for a little while.
oh look who's here. I
Yay.
can turn the camera
Hey,
on so you're actually in frame a little.
Oh.
There you go. So well okay, so I don't want to talk about the garage, which is not related to the text messages I was getting, but I do not specifically want to talk about it because
You're gonna hear about it, guys.
you're going to hear about it.
You're going to. Don't worry. That is coming.
Let's just say it. How do I put this in a way that doesn't disclose anything? Things got really messed up.
Wait. With the garage or what you're about to talk about?
The garage,
Okay.
The theoretical garage.
the theoretical, the
The
garage that
idea.
we were,
The idea.
the
Uh-oh.
garage that was designed and was supposed to have started construction on a month ago. That garage.
Yeah. The end of May completed garage. Yeah. That one?
Yeah, no, April.
Oh, okay. Sorry. End of April. I was trying to
Yeah.
give you credit.
Damn.
Yeah, that's definitely not happening. It's definitely not going to be built by
Yeah.
end of April. Definitely not. So yeah, that. What I wanted to bring up was, I because whatever, it'll get brought up next week if we don't talk about it right now. So earlier today, apparently, another YouTuber who's got a podcast, on their podcast was disparaging EAG again.
Someone asked about this at 17 minutes in. I forget who, but
Oh, they did?
yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, it was Matt Farah from The Smoking Tire disparaging EAG again. Of course, he's like, I'm not going to mention names, but, of course, everyone knows it's EAG and whatever. And it's been a rough week for EAG. There's been a lot of negativity flying around, which I think is kind of almost funny in a way, because like they're actually like really trying to turn the tides and be a better company right now. And my theory on that is that people are seeing that things are starting to move in the right direction, so everyone's getting impatient, and it's like a run on the bank, right? It's like suddenly, I think the combination of the videos that we did doing the conversion on Steven's car, plus getting Hoovie's car converted, inspired everyone to suddenly be like, where's mine? Give it to me now. And look, I'm not gonna go on the defense of EAG to say, oh, like they're innocent and they haven't screwed up, because they have. Like, there's no denying that they've screwed up 100%. Like, and they don't deny it, right? But I get roped in the middle of all this because we're the face of EAG, so to speak. The way I've said it is, I'm like the marketing arm, right? And when
The
people,
unpaid marketing arm.
Yeah.
the unpaid, you're correct, unpaid,
Not paid.
not paid marketing arm. And so it's like when people call me about their problems with EAG, it's like you calling Michael Jordan because you're pissed off about Nike.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You're the influencer, not
like
the
literally, people be
product
like,
maker.
I'm so mad at you, blah blah. And I'm like, who are you? Like, I've literally never heard your name before in my life. Who the hell are you? And they're like, well, you took my money. And I'm like, no, I actually did not. I don't know what you're talking about. And they're like, well, I bought a conversion kit or whatever. And I'm like, okay, so you've got a problem with EAG. That's great. Talk to EAG. Well, you are you're on YouTube talking about them. Well,
Yeah. And
so anyway, I'm kind of, so there was one particular individual who's been going around just making it absolute shitstorm on the internet. And look, I'm not going to say they're not justified, but whatever. And so a lot of people were like tagging me on posts and sending me emails. Hey, did you see this? They're bashing you. And I'm like, no, they're misguided. It's EAG, not me. I don't know. I kind of want to read that post, but
Don't read that whole post. Yeah.
I don't know how to like.
Your audience doesn't
Voice of
need
reason.
to read that whole post.
that's right.
But
Yeah,
That's what we make secretly here is voice of reason.
it is. I just, because like I make a lot of points on that, and I think it's very valid. I post on Facebook in a Ferrari owners group, so it's actually, it sucked because
why don't you just copy that and put it in the chat and let people read it if they want?
it would take up the entire chat screen or whatever. I could post it in a way somewhere else. People are like, read it. Read
Instagram.
it. It's very large. It would probably take me like 5 minutes to read it. The catch is that
Sum it up.
basically, so people keep saying you're an odor in EAG, you're an odor in in like stuff. I'm like, I'm not. So the problem is there's a lot of history that people aren't aware of, because like, let's be real, lots of stuff happened that you guys don't see happen, right? You only see a very small fraction of the things that go on behind the scenes with relation to our business, to the things we're doing. I mean, think about this. Josh and I are working probably over 10 hours a day, probably 7 days a week, and you guys only see 3 or 4 videos a week for maybe 15 to 20 minutes each video, plus this, plus the live.
Yep.
So my total interaction with you is like a very inconsequential portion of the total amount of crap going on. Same thing with this, right? Like you've seen videos about us doing conversions or whatever. It's like there's a whole thing where when I first got involved with EAG way back, I don't know, 3-4 years ago now, I created a company called Gated 6, and I created that company specifically to be a manufacturing company to create kits and sell kits. And I did not want to do conversions for customers, period, because I'd seen the crap that EAG was already going through, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. Like that looks like it's painful. After about a year, it just became where Gated 6 and EAG were so intertwined, it didn't make sense to have it be 2 companies, right? And a part of that was I've already run software companies. I've now got my own business. I wanted to run my own business the way I wanted to. Art wanted to run his business the way he wanted to. He was not willing to let me take over and run the company. So I'm not gonna force it because it's his company, right? I can't.
Yeah.
It's not my company. And so as part of it, I basically said, look, like I don't want to be involved if I can't control the company. That's just, I know how I am. I know how I work with others. I can't, I kind of sound like an asshole, but I can't work for other people now. I just can't.
You get used to shit and you can't go back.
I can't go back. I've had enough shit in my life.
Meg's about to qualify that.
She's like, yeah.
You can see the filter in her face.
I know. She's going,
not saying that. Not saying that.
She's like, you work for me, Dan.
I feel the same way, but there are days where I'm like, I wish I just had a regular job.
I know. Oh, yeah. No, there's days where I'm
I mean,
if it was a regular job, I'd be done right now. And I could be,
and not
I could
thinking
be
about it.
Not thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I don't have to deal with. Yeah, that's
It'd
true.
be
Well,
great.
which isn't entirely true though, because even with 9 to 5 jobs,
You still think about
It
it.
just
yeah.
depends what it is. It depends
True.
what it is.
I couldn't stop. Like I never was able to just do 9 to 5. That's the
Well,
problem, right?
With the escalating money is
Oh, yeah.
it really
Yeah.
more money you make, the more
Yeah.
work-life boundaries blur.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and let's
Absolutely.
be real. For like the last probably 10 of my software career, I had no work life boundary. It was just work.
Yeah.
You know, like
I'm on
as
call
soon-
right now because I'm getting
Right.
paid to be on call right now.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
kind of nice though.
Well, I'm not
Yeah.
not really getting paid, but I'm getting paid.
Right. So anyway, that was one of the main points I wanted to bring up, because I get phone calls from people being like, "You own EAG. Why aren't you fixing this?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't. I would love to. It's
I
not.
think. Do you want me to try and sum up?
Ooh.
I can't help. I know your entire thought process intimately on it.
I can sure go for it.
Dan it respects Art's talent, and it was clear to him 3 or 4 years ago from his history of startups and software that Art had something great. He had a product that was a quality product that people wanted. It was super cool. And he believed in that product, and he still does. It is clear from the hundreds of conversions that EAG has done that it is a quality product.
Yeah.
And it's better than any other approximation that's on the market right now, save for OEM parts, which you can't get.
Right.
So, and in some cases, I think they've established the parts that they've developed are, in fact, better quality than those that came from the factory. Although I know there's a forum somewhere where someone's going to explode because I said that. And I know like how touchy everybody is on the finer points of Ferrari parts and Ferrari production. Art grew his business from a BMW service shop to an internationally recognized innovator with regards to supercars in a period of 3 years?
Yeah.
And probably the worst of that was all in 1 year.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit.
And so business.
And let's
business
be real.
practices-
How many people can go from zero experience to running a large business with millions of dollars in transactions and production of like going from also it's now gone from a service business to now you're doing service, you're doing manufacturing, you've got logistics, you've got inventory,
Support.
you got support, you've got like it just like I'm not again, I don't want to make excuses because it's not my place, but I feel like
There are some.
there's some stuff that when you look at it like factually, you're like, yeah, I can see how this happened.
So yeah, no, I mean definitely EAG, from what I've observed, like many manufacturing businesses, has been greatly impacted by supply chain issues, which haven't totally resolved in
No,
the,
still not.
world economy. And again, like this is not to say that they didn't make some decisions that they now wish they would have made differently about how they run the business and how they scale it. But what Dan respects Art. Dan admires Art's entrepreneurship and his talent. And I think there's a huge portion of this is growing pains, and the rest I think EAG will suck up as, man, I wish I had made X or Y decision differently.
Sure.
No doubt about that. I think they've already said that. So Dan, wants the best for EAG. Really?
Oh, clearly.
I think he wants the best for them, which is why he strongly encouraged a mutual associate to take over there. There was no way Dan was going to be able to do what he does with Josh in his everyday life and then try to sort EAG, because EAG is more than a full-time job for somebody to be, the COO or whatever you want to call it.
No, I've been pushing forever for Chris to be the CEO, like literally over a year. I've been pushing for Art. I told Art many, many times, you need to hire Chris to be the CEO. And the problem was, it was like, you need to hire him to be the CEO, not like an employee, not, he needs to have the level of authority necessary to actually run the company. Right? Like, I think that's the big thing here is you need someone with experience to actually properly run this company. So anyway, this all goes back to there's in this week alone, like I said, the shit hit the fan. People are like making very public accusations about all this stuff, and they're not necessarily wrong. The problem is, like, Chris is trying to get up to speed, so he's not able to currently keep up with the demand for his attention in that stuff, right? So he's not trying to avoid anyone or anything like that. It's just purely like I said, it's a run on the bank equivalent of like service, right? So he's inundated with emails and phone calls and whatever right now. He's trying to get through it.
And the two big points that happened in the last week, which EAG has no part of responsibility for, is one of their huge orders for parts that were to be manufactured was
canceled,
unceremoniously canceled after they had paid a huge chunk of money for parts.
They had a $250,000 order that was placed like over a month ago, and then all of a sudden they didn't even tell them, it just got canceled. Like they logged into the website and it was like, oh, it's canceled. They're like,
it's just brutal. Yeah.
Which is like, can you at least send us an email?
That was separate from the cables, right?
Not even, so then they still had the cable. That was the second thing. They ordered over 100 cables for these kits to be custom manufactured, and the sample cables were perfect, absolutely perfect. They get the 100 manufactured cables from the massive order. They're all messed up. Yeah. None of them work.
So much for spec.
Right. Like, it's just like, and it's one of those things where you're just like, what the hell can you do? Like there's only a handful of companies on earth that actually make this stuff. And so you got to go back to them and be like, hey, we need to make this right. And it's going to take another month or whatever. So again, not making excuses, just saying that's just the realities of what they're trying to do. So it sucks because there are definitely people who have been given false promises or promises that were broken or whatever. Timeline. It's all timelines, right? It's all timelines. Like, as far as I'm aware, anyone who's bought a kit or a conversion has gotten the kit or conversion if they've been patient. Like, I'm not like,
there's hundreds of converted Ferraris
And that was one of the things that
It has.
so I was-
They exist.
I was watching the podcast from Matt Farah just like right before this because I just found out about like literally 15 minutes before we came on the air, and I watched it. I'm like, oh god. It's one of the things that really pisses me off that he said is he's like, oh, they've done a couple conversions, a couple. And he kept saying that they've done a couple. I'm like, no one on earth
He's
calls
trying to talk down.
200.
He's trying to make himself feel up here and talk
Right,
down.
right. I'm like,
to-
they've
it's
done
just- come
over
on.
200 conversions. You can't say that's a couple. I'm like, come on, man. Like, that's dumb as hell. Like, that's just ignoring what it is he's no longer like what's going on is people who are mad are contacting him and giving them their story. He won't talk to EAG. He won't hear their side of the story anymore. So if you go to them, you're getting one side of the story. Now, granted, I obviously am trying to push my side of my story as well, but at the same time, I'm exposed to both sides a lot because people are calling me when they have issues with EAG. So I see both sides of the story and I understand both sides of the story and I empathize with both sides of the story because I too am one of the people who was given promises that weren't kept. The difference is that I said this very clearly in the post I made, which is I understand that for me it's different. I can literally drive over to EAG and see what's going on. And my relationship is such that I can ask them and I'm going to get a real answer. Like, hey, what's the actual status of this? And I understand that like other people can't get a hold of them. They can't just show up.
Well, you go ahead and post the actual contact for who they're supposed to contact for follow-up.
Well, yeah, I did. It was Chris. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other thing is Chris, he called me and he's like, I think we need to bite the bullet and pay the Fry Chat extortion and create an account.
Don't now you're just involving all sorts of other.
Well,
entities.
it's real. There's a huge amount of the negativities on Fry Chat. And a problem is that because EAG got banned from Fry Chat, they never could defend it, right? So it's always a one-sided story on Fry Chat. So
I was just going to ask if it was like he was asking you to redo your account or if
no.
Okay.
I'm never doing it again. But no, he's like, do you think we should just pay it whatever and get an account? And I said, yeah, I think you do. I think it's the right, like, it's at this point you need to pay that as damage control, period. Yep. And so he did, and he wrote a very long post.
Oh wow!
Did he already publish it?
Yep, it's already on there.
Oh yeah, you have to scroll 6 or 7 times.
Actually,
Yeah,
Ferrari chat up on my computer. I'm gonna go.
As EAG.
It's called the new EAG is his handle.
Oh.
And he actually he sent me the letter that he was in post earlier today. He's like, can you proofread this and see what you think? And I said, yeah. And I did. And it's actually very, very good. It's exactly what the problem is. This is what should have happened a long time ago, but it's taken him time to get up to speed, right? Like you can't expect someone to be thrown into the fire like this and just be like, okay, swim. Right. Like good luck. So it's taking time. But he's trying very hard and he's actually making positive changes and stuff. So anyway, okay.
There's that you're gonna get.
There was a very long-winded thing.
How do I get the feeling that there's going to be like people that come back to that whole discussion, like
Well, that's the thing is people are going to say, oh well, like we know how it goes, right? Like they always want to find the poke holes in it and find a way to be like, oh, you only said this because of this or whatever. And someone's gonna be like, oh, you didn't want to be the CEO because you knew it was crap or something like that. And it's like, no, like that's not how it all played out. Like it's very easy to look at things after the fact or with only partial facts and say, oh, it's because of this, and you weren't there in the moment. So another great example of like things that just kind of happen in the moment, and in hindsight, you're like, well, that didn't make sense, is when Gated 6 was being acquired by EAG, Art and I said, hey, we should probably form a new entity, and we're like, we think it should be called EAG USA, right? And so I said, yeah, that makes sense. So I'm like, hey, I'll create EAG USA LLC and register that, and you can use that as your new entity, right? So I did. And then in the heat of the moment, he went and spun up a different company. And so I was like, all right. So now I had a company registered in my name called EAG USA LLC, and so I'm
Oh,
getting
no.
people contacting me thinking that they're like, well, clearly you own this company because it's registered to you, and I'm like, oh no, oh, like that company literally has never transacted a single dollar. It's done literally nothing. I've
That's
filed
hilarious. Yeah.
0 activity
Yeah,
reports.
He
So I finally
he
just
shut it down.
literally
Good.
today got the certificate of termination because I was like, I'm so sick of people, because like once you spin up a company, you might as well just file the paperwork once a year to leave it open.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever, I don't care, I might need it in the future. So yeah, there you go.
Okay, so non-EAG things.
Yeah, that was a giant like tirade on EAG. We should talk about us, our company.
There you go.
Yeah. How are you guys?
We're good. We don't have a lot of inventory right now.
Which is
Which is okay.
in a way, good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, you don't have Hoovies 355 anymore.
Nope, that's gone.
That's gone. And
Well,
you got a new 458, which is always a good thing. And then Gabe now owns a 360, which is awesome.
Oh,
That's right.
were you saying that?
To clear up any doubts. No, that's fine. No. It wasn't a secret. It wasn't a secret.
okay. Well, I thought you had said don't say it yet.
Oh well, I said that last whatever.
Okay,
A while
okay.
ago.
Okay.
But it's cool
honestly,
now. Okay.
Can I show a
You're good.
picture of it, Gabe?
Yes, of course. Yes,
There you
I snatched up the manual 360.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
Super excited to get it.
Gabe is officially a Ferrari owner.
That's right. You beat me to it, buddy.
To answer your question, Cheryl.
Nice.
So yeah,
That's
our
right,
bad.
Hugh.
I was not listening during NGS morning meeting, and it was like, "Hey, we're not talking about yet, guys."
Yeah, right.
I was distracted during the huddle.
Yeah. During the
That-
pre-show. Yeah.
Definitely do each morning.
Yeah.
Pre-show notes.
Yeah. So no, the car. No, it's getting it's at Authentic Details now. It's getting PPF'd and ceramic coated, and then I think a cable adjustment, and then
And off it goes.
I don't know. Well, Josh and I will organize shipping.
Woo.
I would imagine a week or two.
I
or-
still think you should fly down and drive it home, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't,
No, I mean,
wouldn't
look-
personally want to do that and put the miles on it because it's low mile.
It's like what you said, Dan. It's not about the mile. It's the type of miles. I don't want to
Yeah.
put that many highway miles on it.
It's true.
And then
It's not
have
the
to
most
just-
fun miles. It's
Park it,
Yep.
overnight, 3 nights. Yeah.
This
So
is
Yep.
the first one. Like eventually you become, and this is just by proxy for
Oh,
me,
it's,
right,
it's
Gabe?
so true. Yeah.
Eventually you become numb to,
it's not that you become numb, it just becomes familiar.
Yeah.
well, like, and it took me
Ordinary.
years.
Ordinary.
I am
It
Numb to
sounds
what,
really pretentious to say that, but it's
I know.
totally true. Like
No,
It's-
I
No,
look at
I
a
get it.
Ferrari as any other car, and I'll drive it to Target if I need to, and just whatever. But
I get it.
forget that like
Oh no,
vast
you know what's
majority
funny
of
is
people are like, "Holy shit, a Ferrari!"
There's-
you know?
every once in a while you get someone that's just super excited when they see the car, and it like reinvigorates that in you, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's so awesome. Like I sometimes wish I could relive that because it's so exciting,
You have to remember that when Dan first got his Ferrari, like
Hmm.
I was against it on a cellular level. Like, and he didn't like. I didn't probably for a couple of years. I didn't like. I managed to get in daily. Like, oh, that's interesting.
Oh,
blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
You don't want to do that? Well, I didn't want a Ferrari.
No, every day.
Nice.
oh,
Nice.
Found a way to put a Ferrari dig in at least once a day.
No, and so yeah, I was alert.
Thank you, guys.
I had a high intolerance for spending large amounts of money on cars. It just so happens that Dan is incredibly passionate about it, and it
Yep.
takes a while to become numb to laying down 100K plus amounts of money on an automobile.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Takes a long time,
Well,
and it should.
funny
'cause
funny thing is now like regular cars are getting into 6 figures.
Oh,
so-
it's ridiculous.
No, I
Yeah.
mean that's the thing. Like, and when you look at these cars that have already hit a depreciation floor like a long time ago,
yeah, totally
but-
different game when it comes to
it's a different
finances.
game.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think a
Um,
lot of people don't understand that aspect of like Ferrari ownership is like because they just look at the dollar amount. They don't look at like like you have a hard time explaining like, well, you realize that like your Suburban costs about the
Right,
same,
right.
but in 5 years, your Suburban's going to be worth half, and that 360 is going to be worth more.
I mean, and there's always a component of like, if you're a car person, you're a car person. If you're not, you're not. And
True.
there's just a part of
Yep.
it that you just can't get
No.
if you're not a car
Yeah.
person. Like you can't get it.
Well, that's a very
And it's like
good
it's almost
point.
pointless to even try to explain.
That's sure, but one can then take that like you just don't get it, man, and project that. Well, you just don't get it. You just-
Yeah.
and use that as a thing for
Anything.
any purchase.
True.
Yeah.
You guys,
Sure.
so like
Yeah.
you elevate yourself buying a luxury car to some type of spiritual level, and like you just don't get it. You
Yeah.
know, like so. Yeah, I'm the other side here. Like I've gotten
don't
used
get
to
it.
it. Even I got used to it.
Yeah.
Well, you get it now, Meg. That's the thing.
No,
you get it.
No, I just have coping skills.
My favorite of all this
Fair enough.
is the people that I talk to. Like, I don't know how you can afford, a supercar or whatever, but I'm gonna need a truck, so I might as well get a Raptor. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a $100,000
might as well go
truck.
spend 90 grand on a truck
Yeah.
that's gonna be worth half in 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Might as well
Right.
just
No
go ahead
doubt.
and do that.
Yeah, no, actually, it was funny
Yeah.
is when the tow truck driver was coming to get the Ferrari, and he was like, "Oh, I just can't even try and work on this car because it's worth so much money." I'm like, "Well," 'cause I'm like, "Yeah, dude, it's
I bet you diesel truck that you have at home is worth more than this
my
Ferrari.
my Dodge
Yep.
Ram is probably worth more than that 456."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the 46.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, and
So
I
it's
forget.
Yeah, you know?
I forget it too. Like when Dan wasn't home one day, and we were having some random young guys, nice guys, came to the door. They were probably, if not old adolescents, very early adults, maybe 20-ish, and they were picking up, like sticks in the yard from the storm that had been left over, and the garage happened to be open, and and they're like, "Whoa." They're like vibrating. They're so excited. And I forget that is the way people feel about these cars. Because I'm just
Yep.
like, friggin' ice storm, blah, 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 please take my sticks. And they're like, and I'm like, you wanna see the car? And I let them spend 20 minutes and they were taking pictures of the car in the garage. That day there happened to be a Ferrari and a Lambo in our garage. And so to young guys picking up sticks in the yards, it was an otherworldly experience, And I forget that.
Right? No,
It makes me happy to see that.
It's
Oh,
all
totally.
relative. It's like you
No,
get used to it no matter what.
You get to do this, Gabe. The first time you get to like have a kid,
Yeah.
like when you get to show it to a kid, it's the best.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I loved how you
Make
carried
sure
around
you
the
let them
models.
sit in it and take a picture and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. Like just one of those days you'll have time. You'll see some kid who's really into the car, and you'll be like, "Do you want to sit in the car?" And they're like, "Oh my god, oh my god!"
Yeah.
Yep.
It's awesome. It's just that right there makes ownership like even more cool. Like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Of course, then you have someone come up with like, "Can I sit in it?" And you're like, I don't know about you. Like,
I
right?
don't know about you.
have you washed
Yeah.
your pants in
Like,
2 weeks?
Yeah, I can smell you from here.
Let me put the plastic seat cover on real quick.
Yeah.
The problem is, and then it's like you're the pretentious asshole. But at the same time, it's like it's not even that I wouldn't let you. It's just I don't want to damage my property.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's purely financial at this point.
Yeah.
No, I usually if someone wants to sit in it, the only thing I do is I'm like just make sure you don't have anything like they'll poke through or like keys in your pocket. Make sure they're like tucked away or no like knife in your pocket or something.
Yep.
Mhm.
My neighbor's kids last summer, their friends had just come over, and I came home in the McLaren, and their friends like ran out from the backyard like, "Oh my god, holy shit!" And the neighbor ran over. He's like, "Don't let them sit in the car. They just put sunscreen on."
Oh, jeez.
You're like, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good.
Yes. Are you really focusing on 360s, 430s, and 458s? I mean,
In the ideal world, I think they would love to do that all the
if
time.
Yeah.
if we could just do those, that would be fantastic.
True.
Those are my favorites. What?
Uh-oh.
Actually, I do want to take this. Can you
Oh.
take over?
Oh, I'm taking over.
Yes,
Meg
yes,
has the calm.
I will polish my 360s muffler as well. The tubing.
Oh, Gabe, are you going to do an exhaust on that car or are you just going to leave it? I think it sounds pretty
look,
good the way it is.
Look,
but-
at some point, I'm not in the position to. I put a little more down than I would have liked to.
yeah.
So I'm not like obviously like as soon as I get it, I'm not going to be buying a $10,000 exhaust.
Yeah.
At some point, like if I really, really wanted to be picky, yeah, I would have a full. I don't know what kind of exhaust.
Probably a Klein.
A full, yeah, and then maybe I'd have
Yeah.
some like the Daytona seats, like stitching in the seats and the
Ooh.
BBS modular wheels. If I
Yeah.
really wanted to be picky, but like it's a gorgeous 360 red on tan, Rosa Corsa.
It's a classic look to it.
like-
It's like that's the
Yeah,
classic
yeah.
Ferrari.
Like
look.
when I get it, I think I'm gonna be super happy with it.
Yeah,
It's
just
like
drive it until you get
99%.
the itch to do something.
Yeah, and just like I think once I have it, again, it being my first one, like it'll be like it's going from 0 to first one. Like it's different when you go from your 7th to your 8th or your 4th to your 5th, but going from none to one, it's like okay, there's gonna be plenty of time where I'm gonna be enjoying it before I feel the need to do something to it. So
Yep.
yeah, always time for modifications. No rush there.
Yeah, don't forget to wipe the shocks down. He's right on that, actually.
Really?
Yeah, because they can get pitting from the water if they stay wet. I mean, it's a little over the top to do that, but
Oh, after each wash. Oh, okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I thought he just meant after each.
Yeah, I was gonna say, shit, I've never done.
Well, and if you live north, you have to. I don't think you necessarily
True,
drive your Ferrari in the snow, but like
No, no.
salt and stuff. That
No, it's
Yeah.
gonna be garage from like end of November to right around now is when
Oof.
it's fine. Like I don't think we're gonna get any more snow now,
Damn.
so that's like 4 months.
that's depressing. You have to lock your car up for 4 months a year.
Yeah, no,
And
I
that
wouldn't go
That
for it.
sucks.
Briefly, people
know.
are asking how Ash is doing. He's wonderful. He traveled well for
Nice.
his. In fact, I will just say, like, maybe perhaps you prepare for the worst first time you take your child on a plane, and then when the worst doesn't happen, you're just like, "This is fine. This is good." But yeah, he did
I know
well.
you guys did. For like last 2 weeks before you guys left, Dan was nothing. Every time you'd see someone, I was like, "So how was traveling with your kid? Like, tell me about it. What should I know?"
Yeah, no, we
Be
were.
right back, guys. I gotta step out for a second.
It's not as bad as people think. I guess it depends
Yeah.
on how bad your kids are.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, as bad as a 20-month-old can be, which they're not really volitionally bad at that age. They're just, 20
yeah,
Yeah.
months old.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, let's
Well,
see.
when
what
you
else-
have a kid on a plane, when you've gone through experienced having children on a plane, and then when you're on a plane and you see other parents with their kids struggling, I really feel for them now. I don't get mad about it. I'm like, damn, it sucks to be them.
yeah, no,
I'm
I
not
mean,
like, oh, I'm pissed about the kid because
yeah,
I've been there, you know.
and I did everything we could to prepare. We bought all the things. We asked, we caucused with all our parent friends about what the best method for everything was. He has his own seat. I would never try to put a baby in my lap on a flight, and I know lots of people
Yeah.
try to do that.
I've done that.
No
I've
way,
done
man.
that.
yeah.
It's not that bad.
That sounds brutal. I don't know.
He was
I had
strapped
both.
into
Well,
his
me
seat.
and Allison we flew to Seattle, and had my daughter was 6 months old, and my son was 2 years old, and yeah,
Whoa.
lap sitting. It was airport delays and shit. It was
Ugh.
nuts. Wouldn't want to go through that again. Benadryl is. I don't use Benadryl. I go with the melatonin.
Ah,
We actually, here's the only problem is some children, now I'm getting into a mental health professional mode, but
I know it gives them a boost instead of
a
a.
paradoxical
Yeah,
effect.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we had that happen to a friend where they gave their kid Benadryl
oh no.
Oh
on a
no!
trans-Pacific flight,
Oh no.
going to New Zealand, and the kid was tweaking
Oh no.
instead of going to sleep.
That's
So
amazing.
test that Benadryl stuff out before you go on a plane.
Yeah.
'Cause some kids have the paradoxical reaction to Benadryl. Sorry, we are so off in the weeds because I am here. Dan is on a very important phone call. I promise you, and it's NGS related.
Yeah.
Thank God, Gabe is back. Ask him about his 360.
9 p.m. phone calls are.
A lot of liquid tonight. I'm sorry.
Jocko eyeballing a Daytona SP3. I think you got to buy like millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of cars to even be considered for an SP3.
Yeah. Where's Casey at? He was trying that path, right?
Oh, he said basically
Or he
what he
gave
said
up?
is he had to buy what the heck was it? Whatever the new specialty car comes out. To get that one, he had to buy an SF90 and an SF90 Spider and put a deposit for that. And then if he has that, if he goes and buys an Enzo used, then he can get on the list possibly for the next specialty car. So you're looking at spending like $5 or $6 million just to be able to purchase this new car that's going to come out.
All right.
It's nuts.
Yeah. No thanks.
Yeah, no, I mean, I suppose in the end, if you have all that liquid money and you're able to do it, the cars don't lose value theoretically.
Yeah.
So if you
They'll actually make you money.
Yeah, it's still an investment.
But you
Yeah.
still have to
buy
have
in.
$6
You
million
have to have
sitting there. that you
millions
can
of
throw at a
dollars
car.
in automobiles sitting around to get that
Yeah.
special one.
Yeah.
Someone's asking me how Dan and I met. That's a long story. I was 16, he was 20. It's totally legal in Michigan. And introduced by a friend who was like equidistant
Drink.
in our ages. And it had to do with cars. It was a cute story. We should maybe do a recap again. We did an episode years ago about it, but yeah.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Met through a mutual friend when over 20. Dan and I have been together 23 years. I know.
Crazy.
I know.
Okay.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Thank God.
So, Charlie, you'll have to tell me. Wait, I'd be
terrible?
losing sleep if I were Gabe. Oh, yeah, Charlie. Yeah. Yeah.
You've got the
I'm,
meal to play with.
I'm anxiously waiting.
Yep.
Oh, that's the worst part about buying some of these cars is you gotta wait for them to
Yeah.
get finished up, shipped, and all that stuff.
But that's
Yeah.
that's part of the whole process that what makes it so fun. Because it sucks to be in that limbo period waiting, but when
Like,
you finally get it later on when you
always
talk about it, you're like, "Oh, I remember that time
yeah,
period fondly."
It'll
right?
it'll all. I'll forget about this real quick. I'll be
Yep.
once I'm shifting, rolling through those gears.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Oh lordy. Stuff.
Thanks, Hugh. I'll have to remember that comment about the washing it and drying the shocks. I don't know what.
Oh, the
What?
shocks.
don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I mean, they get
Oh
dirty.
yeah, it's just one of the another thing that's like add to the list. Like
I mean, like once in a while, pull off the wheels and clean inside there.
honestly, I'll need recommendations on good like DI like wash kits. Like if
We
I know
sell
some
it.
guys
you,
that
you
sell
still sell
stuff.
the deionizer.
Or
The-
that way.
Oh yeah, the new No Spots Pro.
Yeah. I've got one in my garage. It
Because
works
we're
great.
on well
Oh, what?
water and we have a water softener. I
You
guess
still
the-
want you still
it-
want DI.
Is it salt or non-salt?
It's salt. It is a brine
Salt.
tank.
So it's going to reduce how well the no spots works because it's adding minerals. The no spots has to strip them back out, but it'll work. It'll be better than nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Because when I was on a well with a softener, it worked, but if you didn't then dry the car, it would still leave water spots.
Okay. So
Yeah. I
right.
always look at it as like no DI is perfect.
Yeah.
And there's still like dirt in the air and whatever. So the way I look at it is using a DI doesn't make it so you can just let it dry, but it gives you the ability to like take your time drying it. It's not like in Texas, it's no longer like a massive race to beat the sun, you know?
Well, in Santa Fe, I would have to wash the car at a quarter, like a single
Oh, yeah.
quarter at a time or an eighth at a time, because by the time you would spray it off the soap and grab the drying mitt, it'd be dry.
Oh yeah.
It was
you just
brutal.
got since you
You
just
have
got your car
low
done.
humidity there.
Yeah.
Since it's just got done by Authentic Details.
Oh yeah, the ceramic
You're
coat.
gonna be able to blow dry it.
Oh yeah.
Do you have like a good
big
leaf blower or something?
Yeah.
Just use
yeah,
that.
just do that.
True.
Seriously, you'll be amazed. Like
If
it's
you have a
hilarious.
compressor, just get one of those air hoses. That's what I like to use.
Yeah.
It goes shoots the car off easy.
Yeah.
And it's got
I'll have to
ceramic
get one of
on it.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that 60-gallon air compressor here, so that's what I use it for most
You
often.
blow dry your car with it.
Or the lawnmower or whatever, you know.
Is it a gas air compressor or
No, it's electric, but it's got
Oh,
oil,
yeah.
it's got pistons, it's a 5 horsepower. Like
you just plug it in?
Well,
but it's 60-gallon tank, so I might as well use it if I've got it sitting there.
yeah, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
So-
Nice.
Yeah, you can't really blow dry unless you've got a good ceramic coating,
Yeah,
because then it
and it really is amazing how it just blows away with the ceramic.
shoots right off the car. It's
They're ceramic coating the whole car, right, Josh?
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, PPFing the front and then ceramic coating the whole car.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's good stuff. It's funny because every time I get a car that's not ceramic coated that I have to wash now, I'm like, damn it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Such a pain in the butt. But when you get a nice ceramic coated car, you're like, oh yeah, this is the bomb.
Yep.
Thoughts on Lamborghini Revuelto?
Revuelto.
I'm not really a big fan.
I knew people would have trouble with that name.
I've only seen the pictures and I haven't like
The more I see it, the more I appreciate it. But I
Yeah,
don't know. I'll never have one. I'll never afford one.
yeah.
I really like the upper tail light.
You
like the
might
way it
see
goes
one
up
at a
and
Cars
down.
and Coffee.
well, if I had the money to buy that car, I wouldn't buy that car. I'd buy something else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Like
Right.
I'd buy
You
something.
don't want a
from Rose.
hybrid Lamborghini.
Yeah, hybrid
Yeah.
V12 Lamborghini smells like disaster to me.
Jocko, plug your ears, but I personally would not buy any hybrid sports car.
Fair.
He's not worried. He's got a few others that
Yeah.
do just fine.
I don't like. I'm fine with turbo cars. I like, I think that technology is really solid and whatever, and certainly you get a ton more power with turbos. But like, my fear of any sort of hybrid is long term. Like batteries do not last forever. Period. No matter.
So I
what.
talked to a technician at a Ferrari dealer, not the one here, but he said that the LaFerraris are coming in now, and they've had to do a few batteries, and it's $200,000.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what did Tavares say the McLaren wanted for the P1 battery? It was like 160 or something. I
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And it doesn't make sense because a Tesla battery is the same thing, and a Tesla battery is $15,000. So something's not adding up there. Just because it's Ferrari, it's not
Ferrari
10x.
sticker on it.
But still, I mean,
It's a
it's
Ferrari
just a,
tax.
It's in their shape. Yeah.
well, McLaren too, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's in
It's
their
got-
weird
So
stacked
that just-
shape.
That just makes me think that there's a much cheaper way to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Speaking of the P1, Tavares' P1, I'm sure everyone saw that video. Hell to the no.
Right?
Like the whole time, like you can, I swear to God, you could hear in his voice that he's actually legitimately scared.
Yes.
Like he's making jokes about it. He's like, ha ha, ha ha ha. And I'm just like, man, that's.
I mean, it was like
You're not
basically
going to
fully
be the last
submerged.
one laughing on this one.
No, I've tried to like run like, and maybe I don't understand his finances well enough, but I'm trying to run the numbers in my mind, and I'm just like, I don't know that this one works quite. Maybe my assumptions are not that he's like maybe he's not making, or maybe he's making way more than I think.
I mean, you see all the YouTube hype he's gotten. He's got almost every big car YouTuber out to his shop to make a video
true.
before he released his first one. Like,
That's true. That's true. I mean, from the publicity
He has to
standpoint.
do that, though. Absolutely.
he has to. Yeah.
If he doesn't, he's screwed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
But
He's got to build hype for it.
The biggest thing is that like, it's probably gonna cost him $1 million to fix it.
Easy.
Easy. It's not gonna be worth maybe 1.2, if that.
Also, who buys that?
Yeah.
I don't
After
think.
it's-
I mean, I
even
think
after
he
it's
keeps
done.
it, right?
True.
I mean,
But if he
He
keeps
has
it, then
to.
it's a complete money loss.
Yeah.
So
It just the money on the videos. That's all he
he
gets.
did say in the one video he got a bank to finance it,
Oh, really?
to finance the purchase of the car.
Okay.
at
I didn't hear that.
9% or something. I mean, 10% probably.
I don't know.
On
Yeah,
something like that. I mean,
that's
the interest alone is more than a Ferrari payment.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know, but like when they like he had a video where he and Ed Bullion were walking around it, and like that one was actually more deep. Like you could see more of the like in depth than Tavares's video, in my opinion. And when I saw that one, I was like, oh hell no, but I actually joked with Meg because I was watching it and she came in the room or something like that, and I said, thank God that we are not a salvage car channel. Because I was like, I don't want to deal with that.
I wouldn't rule that out. I wouldn't rule a salvage car project out.
Oh, we've already done one, so
yeah, and that was the more we got into that car, the more I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this.
I think it would be cool to buy a wrecked car and fix it.
I mean, if you got just play money to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be to make
side
money.
channel. Make a side channel.
Money.
Yeah,
normal guy salvage car.
Normal guy salvage car.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, you got potential with the brand.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
I like it. I don't know.
Normal guy salvage, normal guy race car, normal guy drag car.
I'm working on that.
The
drag car. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. I got a few more things I got to do with it. I did some work on it this week. Got it
nice.
Cleaned up a bit. I do like that car.
Oh yeah, it looks like a monster. So
it's one of those that I would totally keep it if it wasn't for that I want to use that money for other things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lordy.
And you've got the other Mustang project, so
I don't even think I've.
Oh, the other Mustang.
The other one.
You've talked about it, so I'm not breaking it.
Okay, I can't remember. If
it's been like a month, but
yeah. Well, it's just sitting in a trailer.
Yeah. So that'll be the long-term project.
That is a long-term project. Oh, I don't want to start that until logistics stuff gets situated better.
Yeah. So there's a garage.
Yeah, like a garage would be nice. Somewhere other than my garage.
Yeah. Yep.
Full time yet? No, I don't think it's warm enough.
It's trying, but
today
you tried yesterday, but then today was brutal.
Yeah. My pool was steaming because the water was 70 and it's 50 outside. It's kind of cool.
Dude, yeah, it was in the 40s today.
It was 40s up there? Oh wow.
Yeah.
I think it's in the 40s right now. I think it's like 47.
Yeah, so the difference between the high and the low is like almost 50 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is just ridiculous.
Dude, it was a lot of rain that came through.
Yeah, we got a ton of rain. I'm watching the lake every day to see if it starts coming back up.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah, we could
use some rain.
Jet skis out there.
I mean, you can still go out, but it's not as fun.
That reminds me, I gotta pull the boat from storage tomorrow.
Ooh.
Why?
Dude wants to come look at it tomorrow.
Hey, that's cool.
Good.
It's a good time to sell. Pre-boat season.
Yeah, I'm finally getting messages about the boat.
People right now we had one warm day, and they're like, "Oh, I need a boat."
Yeah, yeah. It's 90 on Sunday, and they're like, "Oh yeah, boat time."
We need that boat. We need just one good weekend. One good weekend. That boat's sold.
The good thing is, a lot of times with boats that I've sold, the buyers are very impulsive. It's like, I just need a boat. I want a boat. It's not like buying a car where they do a bunch of research. They're like, I just need a boat.
Yeah.
Let's just go buy a boat.
Is it fast? All right.
So the buyers are usually easier to deal with.
I can see that.
That's good shit.
We'll see. I gotta pull it out, get it cleaned up. And it's supposed to rain, so I'm like, great. I'm gonna be like, and it's only gonna be like 50 degrees tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't looked at the weather for tomorrow.
It looks like shit tomorrow.
Oh man, that sucks.
I know. It's always something, right?
The AC went out at my house.
Oh,
I told Dan.
Oh no.
The AC, and so the guy comes over, and
your house isn't that old. How did that happen?
It's 2004.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Looks
so he
new.
comes over and looks at the unit, and he's like, "Oh, this is a home warranty special. The unit outside." And so he has to go upstairs, crawl into the attic, and he looks at the unit in the attic and was up there for like 5 minutes. He's like, we got to replace everything. This thing's leaking up here and the compressor's burning out and this and that. I'm just like, crap, great. And they have to, when they built my house, they put the air handler in the attic.
That's where mine are.
And then they built the house around it. So they can't get it out without cutting out the drywall and the ceiling.
Oh,
no.
jeez.
So long story short, it's 17 grand to replace it.
Oh,
It's so high, I'm just like laughing about it.
holy shit! The whole
have more
system,
than-
basically.
Yeah,
Is it
like
more than
every-
one unit, or is it
That's
just one
for
unit?
one unit. My house has two. The other one's
Okay.
still fine, but the upstairs unit is the one they want to replace for
Check,
17 G's.
check. I don't know if it'll work. The city of Austin used to have a thing where you could actually finance AC units and stuff at 0% interest for like 5 years,
Oh wow.
so long as it met certain efficiency requirements.
I live out in the boonies, dude. There's
I know,
no
but, like,
incentives
there
like
might-
that out here.
I would check, though, there might be like state of Texas or Travis County or whatever.
Power company might have something.
Yeah, the power company might. I mean, I would just check. Actually, it might be. Who's your electricity provider?
It's Pedernales Co-op or
That's
whatever.
Pinellas. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's PEC.
Yeah.
Check. They might have like rebates and whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Seriously,
is that all,
like,
like just central air, or is it a ductless
yeah.
system?
It's a heat pump.
Oh
Central
well,
air.
that's the problem. Yeah, heat pumps. They cost a lot when they go out.
Yeah, I mean they have to replace the outdoor unit and the evaporator coil and the air
Yeah.
handler and all the lines and all that shit. So yeah.
ugh.
I'm
Hey,
waiting.
Cheryl. Thank you, Cheryl.
Yeah, see
How-
you, Cheryl.
How old is
That
your
makes sense.
house, Tyler?
2010, and the
Okay,
previous
so-
owners replaced the upstairs unit, but not the downstairs unit. But the downstairs gets used 20 times more than the upstairs.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting.
Well, the other one that's for my downstairs is the original to my house from 2003.
Yeah.
So
Ooh,
yeah,
damn.
I'm sure
Yeah.
that one's going to go out soon
Just-
too.
so-
Just get alone and do them both at once.
I love this. So the one that was replaced is the one that's gone out.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
newer.
Well, he
Uh.
told me it was like they had the home warranty and it probably went out and they just threw the cheapest possible one in, and that was from like 2010 or something. And it's
Yeah, oh yeah,
Dunzo.
Yeah.
good stuff.
I made sure to close the garage because I had two Ferraris in the garage. I didn't need him seeing that.
Yeah,
Then
right.
it would have been 30 grand.
I mean, that's why I've been trying to finish my garage, but it didn't happen that way. Like
Trust me, that thought goes through my mind of like,
Dude.
shit, what could I do with the car if I want to get someone to come quote like insulating the garage?
I have to get my ceiling spray foamed, and I've had like a lot of
That's
people.
why
out-
everybody needs a $500 car sitting around just
Yep.
just for situations like that.
Uh,
You park
yeah, I
that in
don't
the
know what to do
driveway, and
with
they feel bad for you.
You have to cover it with like 5 car covers, and
There you
I
go.
don't know.
We shouldn't have sold that boo.
The Boo would have. That's a perfect car because people are like, "Oh man, I would not want to drive that." You know, I'm gonna help them out.
Hugh, it's getting PPF now. I don't know. Probably like I would guess a couple weeks before it gets here.
It'll probably.
I'm
I don't know.
guessing you'll probably have your car week after next. Would
Yeah.
be my guess.
Just say 420 because that's funny.
There you go, 420.
Yeah,
Actually,
so we'll
that
see
may
if-
be pretty accurate.
We'll
Yeah.
see if I can get my
Basic
ceiling,
bits, so
the
yeah.
garage ceiling spray foamed because it has to be spray foamed. It can't be insulated otherwise.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just given, I've learned so much about insulation. It's just stupid. Like,
Yeah.
it is stupid. There's whatever. I won't get into it.
Yes. Good old homeownership where you got to learn how to do everything.
It's annoying.
Yes. Chevy Max, the Malibu Max.
Oh man,
That car is badass.
they
No,
don't make them like they used to.
Nope. Oh lordy.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
no, Josh will not drive it.
I would like to, but I would not want the liability.
Oh
No.
no way.
No thanks.
No, it sounds
I
funny,
would
but
want to have to call Gabe and say, "Dude, a rock flew out of this car and put
Yeah.
a hole in your."
Maybe if
bumper.
I was
Sorry,
like
dude."
an hour away, but not 33 hours away.
Right.
Yeah.
you guys realize like as
Is that
soon
how
as-
long it takes to drive there?
Yeah, we did the drive. My wife and I, we
33
packed up her
hours?
car from
Ooh.
Austin and we drove to
Damn.
Boston. We stayed over 2 nights in Memphis and then Cleveland. And it was about 11 hours each day,
Wow.
Mhm.
3 days.
Yeah.
So
Yeesh.
Damn.
30, 32, 33 hours.
Yeah, as soon as we sell a car, we don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
We don't want the liability.
Don't
Like,
want to
it's-
drive it. Don't want to do anything.
Yeah,
Don't even
like,
want to
it's
start it.
like as soon as it's sold, put it under a bag, plug it into a battery tender, and come
Yep.
get this damn thing.
Yep.
I want it gone.
Yeah. I'm in New Hampshire, Hugh, but yeah, Boston. That's a major city around me.
Bastin.
Bastion.
How you like them apples?
That's right.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Are we running out of stuff to talk about?
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
know.
EAG converted. Yeah.
Yeah. EAG converted it.
It's a clean looking car. I mean,
It's a very clean car. It's like just had everything done to it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I drove it, albeit in a parking lot, but it was still a blast because I had just driven the 355, and that was fun, but it didn't like.
Oh,
I
it's
wasn't
not the
looking at the
same.
355,
Well, the
and it was
360 is way more powerful.
yeah, and just obviously the manual gearbox changes things.
Yep.
The 355 was fun, but it was like okay, that was fun, but I don't want to buy it. It's also an older car. The 360 was already kind of in the market. It was like I was eyeing that in the F430, and I drove that right after the 355, and I was like, okay, yes, like I'm sold. Like it was a stark contrast between the two. I wasn't expecting that much of a difference, so I think I'll
Is
be happy.
Barrett getting into liable territory? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
yeah. It's
I
not
mean,
your
if he's-
business either.
if
So
he has to call someone out specifically, and he made sure to not do that. So
Yeah, I mean
there
that's
won't
not
be a
necessarily-
LaBelle case on
The only
that.
interesting thing is it's not necessarily a defense just because you didn't say their name. If it's
Yeah.
like
Yes, that's true.
you can't like, yeah, it's kind of weird, but whatever. I don't care. Whatever. It's not.
Yeah.
He can do what he wants. Like that's his choice. Like I don't. That's like, for me when I did the CNC stuff, I was extremely careful about what I did or did not say in my videos. Like those were some very cautious videos, that whole series. And if you notice, one of the things that I did is I tried to make it so I never would say stuff that I would get the people who actually wanted to say the stuff. Like that's why I had them on the channel so they could say their story, because I don't want to take like that's like if I say what they're saying, now I'm at risk, right? Like if someone tells me something, like someone tells me that Gabe sucks, right? And I go and I say, well, like Gabe sucks, and I heard it from a source, or whatever. I'm at risk. Sorry,
Oh,
Gabe.
you're at big risk if you say that.
But if I get them to come on my show and they say Gabe sucks, well then, hey, I don't give a crap.
yeah.
You can say what you want. But no, I don't know. Whatever, man. Like it's just
Well, and it's funny how people still correlate you with them. Like in a completely unrelated post, someone said, "Oh, it's just like the EAG gated 6 stuff." I was like, "No, this has nothing to do with that." Like,
I know. I'm like, what? Like when I saw that, I was just like, okay.
yeah.
I don't know what that's about, but
Oh well. But it's just funny how the internet never forgets
well, and the internet always
and makes assumptions.
the internet's ready to pull out pitchforks at a moment's notice, right? Like,
Yeah.
actually, I was thinking about this. What was it? I was watching a video on Reddit. I was watching something. Oh, you know what it was? I was watching a video, and someone was driving like a complete asshole, weaving out of traffic, being dangerous, right? And they wrecked the car. And when they wrecked the car, it like started barrel rolling and stuff. Like it was like someone looks like they're possibly going to die. And the person recording the video is like laughing at them. Like, ha ha ha, you get what you deserve and all this stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, how inhuman are you that like,
Yeah.
I understand the guy was a dipshit and he like, shouldn't be on the road, but that doesn't mean that you should like celebrate someone's possible death? You know, like, is that really that person deserves death because they drove like an asshole? Like, I don't know. Like, and I'm like, my thought that ran through my head is, this is how the internet has forced people to work now, where we celebrate people's failures and like we're cheering on the failures, you know? And it's like, oh shit, Alex.
Oh,
Damn.
I can cancel the search part. I totally forgot to tell people that I was going away. I guess it just like it's one of those that literally snuck up on me because everything was so busy. I forgot that I was flying out to my parents, and I just like. And then when I was out there, I was like, "Oh, there's no way in hell I'm doing a live." I was like, "I'm gonna have a whole week where I don't edit anything or do any video stuff."
Yep.
Which is also why there was like very few videos that went out last week.
It was a good week for the conversion videos. So.
Yeah, like
true.
Yeah.
Like yeah, the conversion videos. Lordy. It's like
Steve was happy. Well, he was
Well,
smiling.
mostly.
Mostly.
happy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Have I ever used
Oh, a jammer. Yeah, I was looking into those like in New Hampshire radars and jammers. Have you guys used them?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Technically the laser jammers or laser, what do they call it? Laser shifter is illegal in Texas. But it's so I did a bunch of research into it. Do you know why? So you can't have a radar jammer, but you can have a laser jammer. And it's because the radar is controlled by the FCC.
Oh.
And a laser is controlled by the FDA. Because when
FDA.
lasers were created, it was used for medical stuff.
Yes.
So the FDA is like, we don't give a shit if you want to shoot a laser and alter it and whatever. Like, that's your problem. You know, like, but the FCC is very controlling about you cannot interfere with someone's licensed broadcast, right?
Yep.
So
I'm gonna post something just because we were talking about the car wreck thing. I saw this the other day and was like, holy crap. So if you've got a second, you should watch that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes,
that poor Kia.
Oh my god, dude! I saw that. It was just like,
Yeah.
what crappy luck, right? Like,
yeah, the worst.
oh my god.
That. Yeah.
I'm a fan of the Valentine 1 radar detector. That's what I use.
I
mean,
hate the Valentine one.
Yeah. Any of the modern.
You hate it?
I hate it.
Yeah.
Dan
I
likes
do
the
too.
Escort. I don't like the Escort.
I
I like the
Valentine one.
Unidens, the Escorts, the Redensos. Like any of the high end radar detectors are gonna be good.
They're all hardwired into the fuse box.
You can. I just have the Uniden
Or-
R8. Just the piggy coil runs straight down to the cigarette lighter and the McLaren. It works.
Oh,
I
So you-
hardwire all mine, and
So the
I buy
thing
the,
is, like,
buy the hidden
that and
mount
a
thing
dash
that goes
cam.
to the mirror.
Yeah.
Get the Escort dash cam combo.
Yeah, that one's cool.
The Max. What is
because
it?
I'm
The Max,
seriously, I need to get both.
it's called
so.
like the Max 360
The only
cam. Or
problem
something
with
like
that is there's no camera out the back on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no rear. Oh, okay.
There's no rear. You definitely want a rear camera, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, especially with those cars, because you get the idiots that think they can brake as fast
That's
as
true.
you.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
Oh, yeah, you need
I mean,
both.
the best way to do it is you get the Blackview dash cam and have it have a battery so it runs while it's parked.
Yep.
That's my favorite, but it's, I mean, you're talking like $1,000.
It is. Yeah, with the battery.
And
It's,
what
it's
about
pricey.
LTE connectivity?
You
Is
can do that
worth it?
now.
Is that
You
worth
can-
it?
If you're worried about someone stealing the camera out of the car, it's worth it to have it auto uploading videos, but
Mhm.
I mean,
it's
I
up
don't,
to you.
I'll put it this way: like even there's not been too many scenarios in which that would have changed my like situation, right?
Like big companies use that to check in on drivers.
I got the Blackview one that auto uploads or whatever, and I
Yeah.
put that in Allison's car.
My brother has one, and he likes to turn it on when his cars are in the shop, and you can hear the mechanics talking shit. It's kind of funny.
I mean, and they know it's there, right? The
Oh yeah,
mechanics?
because he leaves the announcement on, so when they turn the car up, it says Blackview for safer driving or whatever.
Oh,
it
I hate
says.
that. I hate that.
I know, I hate that.
Or it says cloud connected. Like, if they're still talking shit, that's on them, man. Like,
Technically, if it's recording audio, it could get you in trouble.
yeah, true.
Oh,
If-
really?
Unless you have a sign that says.
Well, in certain situations, yeah.
yeah,
It depends on the state too. I don't know what
it
the
does.
state law is in New
Si-
Hampshire.
Single party
Like if you
consent.
take your car to a shop, it's
Yeah,
really
yeah, because in the it's single party consent in Texas, but what you're now doing is like it's the equivalent of you taking a tape recorder and sneaking it into someone's personal property.
Yeah,
But
and
is it recording or just you can tune into it through the app and watch?
recording.
it's the same. Wiretapping's wiretapping.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you get into I don't know.
Yeah, and you're crossing interstate, so yeah, yeah,
it's
it's a whole clusterfuck of who knows
I mean,
what.
you could go on and on about that, all sorts of
Yeah.
scenarios.
Yeah, each state's different. Their laws are different.
Yep.
It's weird. Like I don't know, whatever. I mean, obviously people have used those videos for lawsuits because like there's all sorts of cases where some shop took a car out for a joyride and the guy or the owner found the video and sued them and shit. And so
Yep.
I don't know. I guess it depends on what state really, but
Yep. I will say this: the Uniden R8 just enabled Bluetooth with the latest firmware, only for Android, but it's super freaking cool to have like the integrated app on the phone showing you like it's better than Waze because it's pulling from other people's radar detectors that are integrated.
Escort's had that for a while.
Well, yeah, I know.
See,
But I'm talking about
Valentine
Uniden
one
here.
Doesn't have any of that.
It's freaking cool. Like it shows you like, oh, the Austin police helicopters overhead. Like slow down. like all right, cool. I'll do that. But
I'd say
the newer phones have 2-channel Bluetooth, so you're still playing music. It's cool. I like it.
well, they've had that for a while too.
I know.
With a good radar detector in Waze, you're pretty much invisible.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean,
You get away with a lot.
my favorite thing when I took that road trip with my dad in my Ferrari back a couple years ago, and when we got on the highway and we were going Mexico speeds for very long distances, and he was just like, I don't understand how you guys can do this and not get caught because whatever. And I'm like, well, and so like during the trip, I had like Google Maps open, I had Escort open, I had all this stuff, and like all the various different things would tell us stuff and give us information, and we'd slow down and then pass a cop, and he's like, "That's amazing!" And like, it's so funny, like at the end of the trip, he's like, we got to their house, and he's like telling my mom, he's like, "No, you got to see this stuff that Dan shot." Like it tells you where all the cops are, and it's awesome, and so. He was so excited about all that stuff.
Traffic cops are a joke anyway. It's just.
I mean, if they're not being sneaky, there's no way. Like, but if they're being sneaky sons of bitches, they can always get you.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's gonna stop you from a car like doing instant on. Or
if you've got Waze though, and somebody saw them and they tag them though, you're safe.
yeah, but if you're in the middle of nowhere, Texas or
That's
whatever,
true.
where there's no internet,
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
I've had some, and the other thing is when they're coming towards you, like if they're actually driving and they don't actively have it on, if they're tagging people as they go, that can be really difficult because of corners and stuff. I mean,
Yeah. That's where the app that connects to Uniden helps because when the
Other
radar detector
cars
sees
might.
it uploads it. Like
Yeah.
it just does it for you. It tags
But
it
if
for
they're coming
you.
towards you, it's
Yeah, but if they're doing pop and someone else tags it, you'll get that notification.
So
but
someone needs to build an app that integrates all of the Escort, that
Yes.
one, all of them together, so you have all that data in one spot.
I know.
I think that's the app the Uniden uses, the Highway Radar or whatever it's called. It's not a Uniden app, so
Okay.
Oh, really?
yeah. I don't know.
That'd be good.
It's cool. I don't know. I just
What they
messed
need to
around
do
with
is
it last
integrate
weekend.
that into Google Maps.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Like
what
if
they
you
need.
could just have Google Maps have it where your radar detectors input and everything
you-
else,
It inputs from Waze and everybody
Waze,
else.
everything,
yeah.
just collect all that data. But of course, all the companies are like, no, use our thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, whatever. On that note,
It's 9:30.
it is 9:30. So, thank you all for joining us again. As always, we will
Thanks,
see you
everybody.
Cheers, y'all.
and hopefully I'll have information to talk about that was being discussed. So we'll see.
The nitty gritty.
Yeah. So stay tuned. And thanks again. We'll see you guys next
All
week.
right.
Night.
See ya.